Hello coin collectors out there, welcome back to the Big D Coins channel. In this video we're going to take an in-depth investigative look into this coin right here. Here in front of you I've got a 1995 Denver Mint Washington quarter. We're also going to talk about the 1995 Philadelphia Mint Washington quarter. And interestingly about these quarters, the mintages of both of them are over $1 billion. And that's the first time and probably only time ever that you'll see a Washington quarter where the year that it was minted both had $1 billion made at the Philadelphia and the Denver Mint. It's the only year in history, so it's one of the most common years that you'll find any of these quarters. And 1995 isn't too long ago, so there are still a bunch of them in circulation. Before we get into too much more details about the 1995 quarter, please do subscribe to the channel if you're into coin collecting. Most recently, I posted a video about gold-plated coins that got a lot of comments and a lot of good reception there. People found it quite interesting. The 2005 Nickel Ocean and View Oh Joy, complete guide to star notes, as well as $2 bills and 2 pence coin from the United Kingdom. So those are my most recent videos. Now let's get into today's video. So prior to 1995, the first time going all the way back was 1967. So prior to 1995, 1967 was the earliest year in which there were over $1 billion of the Washington quarters produced. Now there were only $1 billion produced at the Philadelphia Mint that year, not $1 billion at both mints like we have in 1995. And as I said, it was the first time ever, and probably the only time, because quarters and currency in general isn't being as used as it used to be, that we will ever have over $1 billion made at both of the mints in one particular year. Now, the highest state quarter that was ever minted was the Virginia quarter, which came out in 2000, which only had $1.5 billion combined at both of the mints. Now, for some perspective about what I just said there were over $1 billion produced at both the Philadelphia and the Denver Mint for the year 1995. You'll probably hear me say that a lot throughout the video, but that's kind of the general point that I'm trying to get across. So my original thought for making this video was trying to understand the decade prior to the state quarters coming out. The state quarters came out in 1999 with the Delaware quarter. I've made many videos about the 1990 state quarter series. That was a particularly great year in 1999. There are some great images there. There are a couple different era coins for the 1999 series, as you would expect to see whenever the mint switches up a coin design and makes new coins. It's kind of prone to errors being made. So check those out for the state quarters. But from 1989 until 1998, I looked at the Cherry Picker's Guide to Rare Die Variety Coins, and unfortunately there isn't really too much in there. There are 4 different era coins listed. None of them are particularly valuable, worth more than a couple $100. So there's the 1989 Repunched Mint Mark, the 1990 San Francisco Mint Proof Coin Double Die Obverse, the 1995 San Francisco Proof Double Die Obverse, as well as the 1996 Philadelphia Mint, which had some scraping images going across the face of Washington. That was due to feeder fingers during the minting process and not any particular die error. So those are the error coins that are out there. You can obviously understand why that wouldn't really make for a great video, given that those error coins aren't anything too particular. So I figured I'd try and figure out why the 1995 quarters were so highly produced. In 1995, did a little bit of research about what was happening that particular year. Some of the trivial stuff that happened. Yahoo was incorporated. Bill Clinton was president. Cal Ripken Jr. was crushing it playing baseball. As well as there's a tax cut enacted April 5th, 1995. And subsequently, the Dow Jones and the stock market absolutely skyrocketed for many years to come. I think that's part of the reason why the mintages were so high. The economy was doing really well. People were still using a lot of coins. They were investing a lot in the stocks and spending money, which drove everything kind of up. So in 1995, for the year, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 33%. The following year in 1996, it rose 26%, 97, it rose 23%, 98, it rose 16%, and 1999, it rose 25%. So as you can see, the stock market absolutely crushed it starting in 1995, which is probably a reason why they need to kind of up the mintages for these particular coins. Now, the previous years to that, the economy wasn't quite doing as well, so it's totally understandable why you would need the higher mintages. So that's kind of all I've got for today's video. If you're into coin collecting, please do check out some of the other videos on my channel. If you have any recommendations for coin videos that I should make, feel free to let me know. Hopefully you found this a little bit informative. You might have been coming across a lot of 1995 quarters and wondering why. Well, 1995 is the highest year of mintage out of any of the quarters, so now you know. Now you know why you've probably been coming across so many 1995s. And unfortunately, they're not going to be worth too much money. Of course, if they're mint state 68 or better, they're going to be worth grading and selling those at auction. Unfortunately, though, if they're mint state 67 or kind of less, they're not going to be worth too much money. All right, everyone, enjoy and best of luck coin collecting.